Hello everyone, welcome back to another Taimanin stream. I didn't know whether I was going to do another one of these, primarily just because of what I was saying the last time with the game feeling a little bit bad. But they've finally got Asuka in here, and I really want to roll for us, so we're going to be seeing if we can get any more gems from the dailies to try and have another roll for her, because her ability is pretty neat, and the drop ratio for her is, or rather the percentage that you can get her on drop seems pretty interesting, so we'll see if we can get her. Hey Drift! So yeah, also waiting for people to come in, because Susan's been at it again, and I don't even know what to make of this one, because this seems like something YouTube's doing that's completely new, so I'm gonna wait before people start asking me repeatedly about this. So yeah, we'll see who's coming in. Hopefully everybody's alright. I don't want to go repeating myself over and over and over again, but oh boy. What's up with Susan? I might as well just... I'm probably going to repeat myself, so I might as well. So, doing this stream, and as you'll know, the content isn't exactly the link in Discord doesn't work as well. I know, because I've not typed it out fully. It's just the usual deal of youtube.com/moodydata, you know. But yeah, at least people are in here. Let's see. Frontier says the banners are about to leave. Alright, fair enough. Nice. You managed to get both of them? Jeez. That's lucky. Okay, so yeah, with everybody in here, at least this can be passed on now. So I go and do this stream, and as I was saying before, I didn't know whether I was going to do this primarily because of the game being a little bit not as interesting. You know, it's getting to that point where I feel like it's not the grind that's getting me, it's the monetization. And we were on about this in a previous stream. There's nothing different there. What is interesting, though, is Susan getting involved. And this is where it gets interesting on my end anyway, because I didn't know this was even a thing. So you have Susan, and she butts in on a lot of stuff. Sure enough, I go and do this stream, and I'm like, you know what? I'll do it before I go and do anything else tonight, because I tend to do a lot of stuff behind the scenes as well, whether it be like 3D or game testing or whatever. So I'm thinking, I'll just get this stream out of the way. I go through YouTube's system where, you know, you have to do the settings, you have to change the tags, you have to change the stream name. Otherwise, you know, it'll come up as like a Gundam stream, and this clearly isn't Gundam. You know? So, I'm sat there going through all the settings, and then I get to the monetization setting, and obviously, because of me streaming so much, I'm like, you know what, I'll turn the settings on. And the interesting thing is, immediately, as soon as I hit the monetization setting, it already auto-looks to see what I'm trying to stream, and then turns around and says, yeah, we're restricting the monetization on this before I've even streamed anything. Normally, that's not a thing YouTube does. Normally, it allows you to manually check later on while you're streaming, you know, to see whether, it's lewd content or whatever, or is problematic content, and then allows you to manually review it. Like, either way, yellow coin symbol, not good. But yeah, the moment I click from off to on for monetization, immediately I get this warning that says, yeah, this content is not suitable for everybody, or may not be suitable. You're gonna have to review it now before I've even gone live. Which I was like, wait, what? So immediately then I'm putting the call out. I'm like, guys, check this out, right? There's nothing wrong with this stream so far. I've not shown anything lewd. There's nothing content-wise that could be considered wrong. And this is on your level of, at the moment anyway, of your average Japanese game. There's nothing lewd, there's no cleavage, there's no anything else that you would consider to be, you know, like a hentai or whatever. And And yet, oh, apart from Emily's arms showing there, and yet YouTube is immediately on top, like straight away of this, going, you know what? We need to immediately smash this stream. Yellow symbol icon for review as well at the same time. Have fun with that. You know, it's like, what are you doing, YouTube? What are you doing? You know, I really don't know. Like, Emily could not be more covered at this point in the game. The only way, actually, no. The only way she could be is if she was wearing, like, a veil or something else, and a hood. But there is no way this is egregious or lewd in the slightest. Maybe with, like, the other characters showing maybe a bit of the back or whatever. No. But yeah, I'm not even clicking the right things now. I'm that annoyed by it. Like, there's no more chapters to do. Daily quests. I was getting items from daily quests. But yeah, that is messed up. That is really messed up. They finally realized this game can't be trusted. Maybe your voice is too lewd, says Proof. I mean, I don't know, but yeah. Drift says, your character looks very cute. Emily's really cool. But yeah, I don't... I don't get it. You know, this is... The artwork for this so far is on par with, like, quite a lot of other anime. You know, it's not something that would immediately stand out. And yeah, it was really weird seeing that. It's the first time I've ever seen that where Susan comes in before the stream and goes, you know what, I'm just gonna yeet this before it's even up so you can't make as much off it. What? What are you doing? I'm just gonna manually review it anyway. You know, so I don't see why she has to strike it immediately. It's just, I feel like my channel now is constantly pushing well, not exactly pushing the boundary, but it's definitely pushing back against Susan and being like, look, what can you do on YouTube? Because we found out you can't say, like, nuke or something in chat. You can't do certain streams because they'll get yeeted immediately. You know, there was some other stuff that you can't say in chat as well. I can't remember what it exactly was, but it was some, like, really stupid stuff. It's getting to the point where we are just a test bed for what can and can't be done on YouTube, you know. So stupid. Dragux says, no, sorry, not Dragux, it's Vault first. I mean, maybe the skin-tight clothing could arguably be seen as more lewd than less or looser clothing with some burst spots because characters have exaggerated proportions. The thing being that even if that's the case, they're still wearing clothes and they're just cartoon characters, so they should not be held to the same standards as real people. It makes no sense, you know. What was it? It was, I swear, on one of the other streams, we couldn't say nuke or nuclear or something. We tested it out. I think it was on one of the GBO ones. Vault says, maybe it's because YouTube's getting the same algorithm that Steam uses for their game bans now. One ban or warning, and basically you're struck from every online multiplayer. Wait, what? Steam's doing something new? No, I don't even... Like, I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, it's totally messed up. I don't even... Did we just get 3 dailies done in one go? Not dailies, sorry, weeklies. I didn't even realize that. Okay. I'm not even paying attention. I need Asuka. I need to roll and get Asuka on this event. Otherwise, she'll just be gone. Because I've already tried once, as you can see here. It didn't work. Her drop rate is higher than anything else. So technically, we stand way more of a chance of getting her. And I need... March the 9th I have until, but I need it because of that Kill 'Em All missiles passive. That would work so damn good on Emily. Ah, Canal. Because Emily already fires like, what, 1 million missiles every 10 seconds? Give me more game. Let's go arena and see if we can smash somebody in the arena. So let's up the, actually, I don't need to up the amount that I'm going to get, because I'm just going to kick everybody's ass anyway. Hey, puppy! Jaguk says, that was me, mate. Yes, they allow developers to ban people from the game. If the game's on a massive multiplayer list, it affects all the games on that list. What? I posted it in the QA channel on Discord before. Oh, I'm going to have to check it out. Was that thing that we posted to... Jin? Like, my brain is just going here. Was that the thing that you posted to Jin about? Go to the Mechanized channel and scroll up. Yeah. I think it must be then. Like, my brain just froze there for a moment. Are you still up to date on GBO2, Moody? Got a new login for 3 million downloads. No, I'm not. I'm going to need to log in, because apparently it's what, the Mark II and the Shiki that you get for free? I'm going to have to read more into that, Vault and Drago, because I briefly read on it. Or read parts of it, but it was one of those things where I was just speed reading. I was more trying to focus on Jin's actual reactions to bugs and stuff like that in game. But yeah, things are fine apart from Susan being a bit aggressive with smashing my streams, you know, or just my channel in general. Jagok says, I really want to get a PS4 or PS5 so I can damn well play GBO with you, but the availability of consoles is niche or nilch right now. Dude, just get it, if you can, just get a cheap PS4, because PS4s are probably going to be way easier to get because they're mass-produced compared to PS5. Speaking of PS5, I might have a funny story about that in future, but I'll leave that for another day and not spoil it. I put an image in the GBO2 news section which shows you all you get is Frontier. After this, I'm going to be doing something else, like, offline for a while. But after that's done, I'll jump on GBO2 and we'll see what I get for login, and I'll check out all the news in, you know, in Discord, because I am behind. And what the hell? So I go to uncensor Blitzkrieg's message, and it says error, and then when I'm clicking show again, it says error, try again, message retracted. What? Blitz, was that you that did that, or what? People are scalping everything. Oh, I removed the message. That might be why I got an error then. No, I was gonna uncensor you, dude. No, I don't like anything being censored. John says, just get a toaster. Scalpers. What happened with Susan? She basically yeeted the stream before it even went live. I changed the settings. I changed the monetization option from off to on, and immediately she just went, yeah, this stream is not good for you. You know, it's not going to be recommended to everybody. And I'm like, but I've not even done the stream yet. How is this possible? How are you judging me before I've even gone live, you know? First time I've ever seen this in streaming. Bearing in mind, I've been streaming, like, it was 2 years for GBO2 non-stop. And since then, I do streams, like, maybe once or twice a week, depending on what's going on with my current condition. So, I'm pretty... I'd say I'm pretty up to date with, you know, all the usual stuff that goes on with streaming and, you know, like settings on YouTube that get changed here or there or whatever. But that's the first time I've ever seen that where she just turns around and goes, you know what, before you've even started, just bang, there you go. Because normally it's up for a while and then she asks me, do I want to manually review it? And I always say yes, and then it comes back. And they always tell me, look, we've manually reviewed it. The stream is fine, you can put it up and it's all good to go. So the thing is, why even strike me in the first place? If after manual review it's fine, it's almost like it's wasting their time having to go through it. You know, why don't they just let me do the stream and not strike it at all? It makes perfect sense that way. Drift says, just get a PS4. PS5 isn't worth it until PS5 Slim and PS5 Pro are available. That's pretty true. Although I imagine that's going to be further down the line, like way further. they're not gonna bother making a Slim or a Pro until they've made a decent amount of money on the base unit. You know, so Frontier says, be prepared for a lot of beams too, Moody, if you have the game model? I don't know whether I pronounced that properly. I hope I have, because that sounds really weird. It's because the AI is broken, says Dragux. Game Malk, aka Beam Spam. Honestly, name does not sound familiar. Which era are we in here at the moment? Double Zeta? No, it was Sentinel, wasn't it? We went out of Zeta and Double Zeta and went to Sentinel. So, what is it from that? Not familiar with some of these late UC mobile suits. I say late UC, but it's not exactly as if it's Victory or whatever, so it's not entirely late. Let's see. I needed to do, I think, the event quest on hard to get these extra gems. Oh, I can only get 30. I can't roll for Asuka again. Come on, game. Give me a break. Unicorn? Game arc is Double Zeta. Ah, okay. I know it'll never happen, but I'm really hoping for a Gundam Breaker on PS5. You know, an actual breaker. I mean, they could easily turn around, take Gundam Breaker Mobile. I say easily, they probably do a little bit of editing. They could obviously upgrade Gundam Breaker Mobile and make it so it's not sort of press one button and let the game do everything itself. They could make it back into what it was based off, so it doesn't autoplay, and you'd probably get a decent game that's pretty close to Breaker 3, but with new add-ons and stuff, like new parts out of that. That'd be a cheap, or at least I think, cheap way of doing it right now, and probably safe as well. Because, no joke, I was planning on doing another video about New Gundam Breaker recently because of a Twitter post that I'd seen, but oh my god, the Japanese are still out for blood, seriously. Like, no joke. You still see a bunch of Gundam fans on Twitter telling people how it is the worst thing to ever grace the Gundam fan base. How it's absolutely, like, the worst thing possible. And then they go into massive detail about it and keep showing images, you know, of the game being, like, 90% off when we've reported on it before. I can't remember the rest of it, but there was other stuff there. I think it was specifically on a post where somebody was like, so I'm planning on getting this, should I? And everyone's like, no, don't even bother, you know? So it got a little bit crazier. I can't remember all of it now because the post was like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, all I remember was there was like 130 comments on it and a load of retweets and likes, and a lot of them were just, yeah, don't even bother. And I've never seen anything like that in terms of people responding that violently before. Oh, it was nuts. It was nuts. I feel sorry for the devs of New Gundam Breaker still, but at the same time, it's like, I feel upset because, still like that, because of what happened with the publisher, because the publisher probably turned around and went, look, we need a Breaker game out now in time for a global celebration of Gundam, so we're just going to need you to push this out the door on an engine that you're unfamiliar with. And, yeah, we're not going to bother with any quality of life or anything like that, or quality, well, not, they won't bother with any quality assurance, but they're probably just going to ignore the QA, you know, which was pretty nasty. When you look back at all of it, it just seems really nasty. It's like we're getting hyped up for a major event in Gundam history, and then we're just going to screw it up, you know? Just, it's not good. Not good at all. Let's see. They probably make more money just remastering Breaker 3. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. You know. I just want Gundam Breaker 4, like, take 3, add mobile suits. Yeah, that's what I mean. You could easily do that. Not just Twitter, Reddit isn't telling a good word about it either. I mean, in general, Gundam fans just absolutely hate New Gundam Breaker for just the glaring issues that it had, and rightly so, but talk about the Japanese, man. The Japanese just have one hell of a deep-seated hatred, and I think it's primarily because of, you know, how the importance of Gundam in Japan, at least anyway, how they see it, rather than us just saying, oh, it's just a mecha show, you know, that's gone on for ages. In terms, like, let's check chat again. I have to keep tabbing out here to unsense people. It's a good job Emily can play on her own. Let's see. Blitzkrieg says, it's really say something if Break Edition still sells for full price and New Breaker barely sells for $10 on Amazon. Yeah, I feel like the special version, I'm sorry, for Breaker 3, I think it really tells when Breaker 3 really, like, gets a hefty price still online, because despite its slight shortcomings, as in, like, Chapter 4 being an absolute pain in the ass and feeling like it takes half of your life to complete, no, apart from that, it's still a fantastic game. Oh, go on now. Wait, the issue wasn't the devs, says Vault. It was a lot of stuff. Like, I don't put it all on the devs. Like, the devs clearly were not familiar with the engine. And the reason why I say that is primarily because of all the little things to do with, like, the AI and some of the other issues that I can't quite remember right now because I'm not on top of New Gundam Breaker anymore. I not covered it as in-depth apart from, you know, like, the odd bit of, oh guys, it's on sale, you know, since I originally started. Like, if you'd have asked me 2 years ago what the problems were, I would have been able to recite them off the top of my head. But yeah, I don't blame just the actual dev team and the QA team. I imagine they got really shafted by the producer. It was kind of like, look, we'll give you a time limit. Here's a new engine. We need a new Breaker game. Go. You know. So, I imagine they got shafted like that and had to learn how to use the engine, how they would make a Breaker game, how they would tweak the gameplay, and then on top of that, it's like, so, we gotta make sure this is bug-free and ready to go, you know. So yeah, I imagine they got screwed over pretty hard. It's like, I remember saying this really early on about New Gundam Breaker, saying how the devs clearly didn't look like they had much knowledge with Unreal Engine 4, because it's practically the one thing outside of, like, fan games that I noticed was just how crazy some of the issues were with it compared to other people's or other devs' games, and I'm like, okay, so clearly they didn't know how to do certain things or clean up these issues, or maybe they didn't have enough time. If you want to go back and watch those videos, they're still up where I go into it in way more detail, because I actually remembered stuff back then. But yeah. Vault says, when someone who's never played a Breaker game before purposefully plays NGB first, then plays GB3, and still says GB3 league's better, and feels like the newer game. The thing is, I've done that, you know. I've played Breaker 3 and Breaker at the same time, roughly. And, yeah, New Gundam Breaker, just not my thing, man. Definitely not my thing. Let's see. Drift says, I still got Gundam Breaker 1 and 2 for PS Vita. Oh, nice. Vault says, I mean, if they got screwed over, it's understandable. I'm fine with blaming the higher-ups rather than the devs, just like Cyberpunk. I imagine it was that type of situation. Like, just imagine this, right? I'm trying to piece together stuff still in my head and try and remember stuff about Breaker. Or New Gundam Breaker, sorry, that went really bad. But it was, imagine this, right? You set the scenario. We got a game that would just come off selling. We'd done DLC as well. We got all the models there. We got decent graphical engine, looks pretty decent, runs well. The only problem people are having with it is they're finding the middle of the game a little bit lengthy, right? So, we're going to make a new game. It has to be out within, let's say for whenever Breaker was out. Imagine the game's probably in development for maybe 2 years. So, we want you to make a game within 2 years. It's not going to be the original dev team, from what I remember rightly. And we're going to need you to work on an engine that's totally different to the one that was previously used. So you don't have that established framework already. You might have the models, but we might need you to remake the models. we're not so sure of whether models were reused or not at the moment. But we'll just go with the idea of they probably had to make new assets anyway that match the previous ones. Just taking, you'd think, common sense would be, take the established stuff and then just build off that. But instead it's like, no, we're going to use a new engine. And we're going to change up the gameplay dramatically. What we're going to have you do is be able to pick up things in the field, which sounds good on paper, you know, to dynamically change your suit, try new parts as you want them. But then we're going to have to make it really, really awkward by having you put parts in a box or whatever if you want to actually keep them. And if you don't, then you don't get anything. We're going to make individual suits a lot more pricey in their actual shop form, you know, where you can buy all the parts. Primarily to increase the grind of the game because the game is shortened. The idea is we simplified the game, you know, to make it a little bit easier on the devs to produce in that amount of time. When you start thinking about all of these things and why they didn't just take the original framework and work off that, it's like, yeah, we understand you want to use the new graphical power of Unreal Engine 4, which was still pretty fresh at the time, you know, not many devs had taken to using it, unlike everybody else. So you got this situation where Unreal Engine 4 is still pretty new. Not many devs have really used it at this point compared to like for many years down the line where everybody uses it. And they're unfamiliar with practically everything this engine has, and they have to build everything from scratch, then QA test it and make sure it all works. And on top of that, they're changing large portions of the game to streamline it, or do what they think is streamlining. But instead, it just gets players annoyed at the end of the day. So instead of having like 5 lengthy chapters built off the back of a, I would say, robust building and customization system, you know, with gameplay worked in there that's pretty refined, instead it's like, yeah, we've got the building working, and we couldn't actually have the optional parts be actual weapons this time, so instead they're just cosmetics. And yeah, on top of that, we're going to simplify the story so we don't have to spend as much on that, but we're going to make these new parts, and hopefully they'll be up to scratch with the rest of them. And yeah, then hopefully once we've streamlined everything, and there's hopefully no issues with it, then we can put it out. And we might put out an audio edition as well, because they always put out, you know, something with the music and things. Like, it's normally an extra CD that has the music on. Oh, and we'll put an extra kit with it as well, because we need to sell more of these kits. So we'll make it a special edition one that's see-through, because Build Divers is running right now, so we can get more sales out of it if we do a Build Divers tie-in. You know. New Breaker was a whole new team, says G-Dash. Yeah, I remember people saying that. For heaven's sake, Moody, says Dragux, just say like COD or Battlefield. Every year a new flavor. The thing though, it wasn't like that. Breaker hasn't been like that every year though, so that's not right. That's why I didn't say it. You know. You also need to chase trends. Everybody likes MOBAs, right, says Blitz. See, the thing is, it's not so much a MOBA either. It's just sort of drop you in and do whatever you want for New Breaker. But I get where you're going. I really don't understand the appeal of Battle Royales as well. Neither do I. Maybe I'm just too old. Like, I kind of do if it was more like GBF, but I don't get how it's like in most Battle Royale games today. Last one alive locked the door scenario, says Dragux. The backwards fin funnels, that was just a small issue, you know, compared to the AI ganging up on people and not letting them really do anything. Like, that was one of the major issues that I couldn't stand, was the fact that the AI would just gang you. It's like, so what do you want to do? We'll have the AI be super aggressive, and every time you go into a level, you stand a really good chance of getting ganked by like 20 or 30 AI that then just juggle you. And then they break all your parts off you, and then you're running around with a bare frame that does nothing. That moment where I'm having to manually avoid stuff here. Come on. You got 100 odd health bars left. The backwards fin funnels, yeah, that was the thing. For anybody who's not familiar with my Gundam Breaker videos, definitely check them out, the earlier ones, if you want to know what happened with it when I was really on top of this story, instead of just commenting about the sales and the general quality of it, like 2 years afterwards. But yeah, they had fin funnels. Like, one of the first things we showed, how they'd gotten things drastically wrong in terms of small details, and it stood out because I remember reporting on it and saying, look, if these are the guys that are supposed to be in charge of making the game, I assume they're Gundam fans, why get small details wrong like this when they clearly, or rather when they probably know it's wrong to begin with? I know it's just a minor thing, but people are going to nitpick this, and then it's just going to expose a lot more stuff that's wrong with the game, and sure enough it did. So, yeah, it was a bit of a mess with minor stuff like that, and then just exposing how crazy the rest of it was. Unlocking skills with boxes, says G-Dash. I can't remember what else was going on with it. I wish the shield was included with the guys was an upgrade. Gabaldi Beta, says Drift. Let's go back here. I need to see if I've leveled up any of these characters, because I want 500 so I can try rolling. 500, that's done. Is everybody's intimacy up apart from one new character that I got in rolls before? This is by the way, linking back into Susan's stuff, this is the only time where I can think of that it would be applicable for it to be, you know, called out as slightly lewd. Okay, so I need to level her up to max intimacy. She looks like a freaking vampire or whatever. Let's see. Ironclad soul for a ninja art, which changes one's bones into iron. So basically she's Wolverine. Making the bones absorb the user's soul. What? Can restore her flesh or intestines unless more than half of her bones are destroyed, which means she is almost an immortal being. Her strong bones of iron allow her to demonstrate much more power than normal people. It is known to be a similar art to Murasaki's Awakened Immortal. Oh, okay. So she's basically Japanese Ninja Wolverine. But if you destroy certain parts of her, then, or more than a certain amount of her, then she can't recover from it. So she has a limit, unlike Wolverine. Seemingly. Oh, okay, there we go. I got 5. I need to level up Micah and this new one, and that'll get me some gems that I can use to get, or hopefully get Asuka. Then I can have Emily do more DACA. Like, the idea of just having Emily do more DACA now is really fun. Thing is, she's maxed out on skill points, I think. Support. Everybody's done here. I can't get any more clothing, I don't think. We've done all of these weeklies so far, apart from the second and third tiers. The last one you get when you complete all of them, but these are pretty fine. I swear I got the sell 10 items one. Let's see. Let's sell some of this gold, because I'm going to need to get money anyway, so we'll sell this gold. There we go. Dragrick says... Ah, yes. More scantily clad assists from ninja teenagers who are supposedly older. Depends, like... Where is it? I swear it had characters' ages in here, but most of them are older. It's like, I think the youngest is supposed to be Sakura, who's like 17 in this. Drift says, well, gotta head to work, so I'll see everybody later tonight when the new GBO2 banner begins. See you later, Drift. Thank you very much for dropping by. I'm just checking the time here. Right. I'm gonna call it there. I gotta get ready for other stuff, and then probably testing later on or whatever. So I'll see you guys later on, and I hope you've enjoyed. And until next time, goodbye.